And of course, folks, welcome back to the presentation. Welcome back to the Brush Morning Talk here on Brush FM 94.7 megahertz. It is with great pleasure again that I welcome you back to another edition of the presentation on Dot 40 Visits, one of Liberia's premier breakfast morning magazine program. And so I'd like to welcome all of you this morning. There are a couple of issues we're going to talk about. But we're having our first batch of guests here on the first segment. We'd like to say good morning, good evening, good night to our followers on SEM TV and Brush TV Live. And this morning, I'm here with my colleague, Frank Martins. Frank, how's it? How's the morning?
Thank God, I think it's another, pleasant, edition this morning that we sit on the Brush Morning Talk to discuss issues of national concern that are paramount to our country's well-being. And it's another, good editions that we make sure we invite people to share their respective opinions on national issues. So I think this morning will be another occasion this morning.
Okay, so let's get started. Our guest is already.
So I think our guest in studio is Randy Smith. He's from the camp of an aspirant, Jerry's Yobo. I think he will tell us more about his organizations, whether they are contesting to be, to represent the people of District Number 12. I think he will tell us more about the institution. Ramsey, welcome to the Brush Monitor.
Thank you. Good morning, Martin. Good morning to your co-host, and good morning to the people of District Number 12. I'm Ramsey Smith, a resident of Stimulated Topper Community, precisely Bobo Island, and I'm here as the communication director for the Friends of Jerry K. Yabot, a representative aspirant residing in Shufa Trade District Number 12, and the CEO of the Yabot Group of Company Jerry K. Yabot Foundation.
How is Jerry K. Yabot and how is the foundation?
Well, the foundation is doing very well. As you may be aware, the foundation is a charity-based organization.
Okay.
We are involved with community initiative and also, providing humanitarian services to our people across District Number 12. And so far, we have been able to assist our students across the district with financial assistance to go to school. We've provided financial assistance to women who have interest in doing business. We've also, provided the issue of tutorship through our foundation to our 12 graders who sat the last academic year, and the result, was outstanding.
Okay.
Because both of our 12 graders who sat the YF passed, and so I think it was a wonderful initiative undertaken by the Jerry K. Yabot Foundation. We are also into community development, such as bridge construction. To speak to you currently, we are constructing a concrete bridge of value over 8,700 US, linking the Maryland Center and that of the Passotan community in District Number 12. And we are also, constructing a school, an elementary school through the foundation, located on the Cassidy Boulevard for the local scene Christian Academy. And we are also, provided some assistance in terms of renovating churches in Dallas schools, namely the SPS school. We have to renovate the entire roof, spend over $1,000. We also have to renovate the St. Mary school located in the shoe factory, not too far from Gillian, fence.
Okay.
Yeah, we spend over $1,500. We also, provided our support to some residents of the district who were hit by disasters. We helped to renovate their homes. Today, they are living comfortably in the home through the assistance of Jerry Kayaba. Not only that, a week ago we launched the Jerry Kayaba Scholarship Scheme, with an amount of $3 million as a starting point. As the year goes by, it will be increased subsequently based on the need for academic across the district. But we are starting specifically with secondary student in high school, and then we will increase it to college level. While the two we are paying the fees of individual at very university, you know, but it's not through the scholarship scheme that have been launched. It's just through the can get job as CEO, something I've been doing for over 5 years. Not only that, the Jericho Yoba, Foundation has also, been able to provide food items during the COVID-19. We provided food items, we provided, medical assortment, about over $25,000 to residents of District Number 12, making sure that our people are provided, every means to protect themselves from the COVID-19. We also, you know, organize a team of, social, mobilizer who wants the community to provide education to our people as it relates to the COVID-19, informing them how daily is, asking them to take the relevant, protocols or health measures announced by the Ministry of Health, World Health Organization, and NFIL as well. And based on our own contribution today, you know that the COVID-19 situation has declined significantly. It's based on the collective effort of every one of us. So we saw it as our moral duty to assist the government of the Bureau, making sure that our people are safe across the district, because if an individual is affected, it's a likelihood the entire community is going to be affected. So we saw it as a national threat, and that's why we put our all into it.
With all you have been doing, when this organization was formed, what really could be the main, objective of these foundations? You say Jerry Yogbo, who wanting to become a representative, is forming this, as a means to ushering in the house of legislature. What really, what the real cause behind this whole foundation?
Thank you. The Jerry Kayaba Foundation was funded 2012, by the Jerry Kayaba and his family, because, in the 2000s, during the civil crisis, that is the region of former President Charles Dange Taylor, Jerry Kayaba had the opportunity to go to the U.S. in order Liberian to follow his academic, sojourn, and he also went there to seek patria. So while in the U.S., the family decided to contribute back home and not forgetting the community they grew up in. So it was his late son who proposed that they need to establish a foundation to give back to the community, but the later God blessed them with while in the U.S. So it was when the foundation was funded in 2012. We started the foundation on a scratch. We first identified with the Black community in the FAIC community, who provided them some food items and some financial assistance. We also, organized a sporting tournament in the street fighter community amongst the various blacks. And then we started to reach out to the various communities across the district, reach out to churches, reach out to the various mosques. We provided, food items during the Ramadan. And we also provided, masks, face masks, over 500 face masks to the various mosques across the district as our own support. It was against the COVID-19. And then we extended it to school, we extended to individual, and now Jerry Kayaba Foundation are taking over the 17 communities. There is no community in the district that we have not affected positively when it comes to development.
How responsive are the residents of the district?
Well, the residents of the district are very, absolutely delighted of the many humanitarian services provided them. through the Jerry Yaba Foundation, and they are very excited based on those humanitarian services Jerry Yaba provided. They petitioned him in 2017 to contest against the then incumbent Richmond Anderson, but he turned down the opportunity because he felt that he wasn't prepared by them. He needed to understand the part of the people. He needed to understand the workings of the national legislature. So he needed time to think about it. So he turned down the petition of our people on a good note. And so in 2020, when he came to Liberia, normally he comes to Liberia twice every year, during the last visit in 2020, December. It was again petitioned by two communities, the Kesel Boulevard and that of the Chupajo community. And then he took it to his family, it was accepted, and now I can show you that Jerry Yaba will be a formidable force coming to the tree in the district of protest for facility that has been, abused, that has been, disrespected by our community, even 45 years in just in the summer.
When you say been abused, what specifically you talking about? What's happening? What's the shortage you're talking about?
Thank you. We all are aware that representative in this country has three kinds of responsibility. That is oversight lawmaking representation, and the Honorable Judge being someone has not been able to perform or to deliver on these kind of responsibility, that he has to the people of District Number 12 in the country. Today we have a representative that does not live in the district. He is an evident Judge being someone live in District Number 13, where he constructed his luxurious residence. He has neglected the district over the years. Few months ago, he wanted to contest in Lopa County. Unfortunately, Agopu had it, and he did not register. He forgot to register, for which he did not contest. And as we speak to you, Honorable Judge B. Sama has not been able to reach out to our people, especially the DDC. The DDC as the relevant body and represent the Saudi community in our district are responsible to supervise developmental initiative across the district has been, disrespected. They have not been given that due relevance. They have not been given that platform to perform their role as a lawmaker. As we speak to you, our lawmaker, has not been able to provide legislative report over the past year to residents of the district. Not only that, there were projects that were started on Anderson leadership, which did not complete due to his, the losing of his second term by Judge B. Sama, namely the Kesel Boulevard Market and that of the administrative building located in FPRC right before the Suffolk Police Station. Those projects have been abandoned. As we speak to you, Summer has not been able to complete those projects, despite receiving funds from national government and that of the social development fund as well. Those funds have been spent up. He admitted that he received the 20,000 given him by China Union as the social development fund to every district across the country. He spent those funds, and he also received 10,000 as county development fund for national budget. Those funds have not been accounted for. The DDC, routine communication, which I saw, and then he said he's not answerable to the DDC. In fact, the DDC is just a useless, organization in the district. And so, a couple of these things, it clearly tells that the lawmaker is sensitive to the part of the people. He has not been able to champion the cause for which he was elected for. Today, if you were to visit the community, Summer is a wanted manor for which you cannot go to shoe factory, you cannot go to chicken soup factory. And those were communities that
these are just mere perceptions you are making. These are just mere perceptions you are making when you say he's a wanted man and so forth. He's been around here before, so
no, no. As far as I'm concerned, unless maybe he's in kind pass the different thing. Honorable Judge Benson has not been able, to foot in the Chicken Soup community. In fact, the last time I visited the FPRC community where you were present, when the president I come to dedicate the Static Brother factory in the FPRC community, someone was being booed out. In fact, he was being slapped by one of the constituents of the district, and then he left. Since then, he has not been able to venture in the community. Where he used to live in the Chicken community, he was renting from the Adolphus family. He could not pay his rent for 6 months. He was in Lopa County when the people issued a rate. and Sherry Kim and a team of with all of the us.
Okay, so just with with the exception of these bar moving, so for let's take a keen focus on what different you has to bring to the discourse. What are those different components? What are your manifestos? What are those things you are not seeing in terms of healthcare, in terms of education that is prompting your action, to promote the candidate you're promoting currently. Let's take a focus on your representative bid instead of bar moving and so forth. What are those key areas you intend to work if elected?
Thank you. We have a manifesto that focuses on healthcare delivery and improve uh, education. Talk about youth and women empowerment. We also talk about accountability, transparency, efficiency. We talk about providing financial assistance to our women who are involved in market to develop their skills in terms of improving their livelihood, making sure that the needs of the family are met through the business, that they wish to do. And we tend to do it differently. For example, when it comes to healthcare delivery system, we tend to improve our healthcare delivery system, specifically those public healthcare delivery system, that is the faculty, clinic located in Chigizu Factory, and now the gonna be, community clinic, the government-owned clinic in Steam Etowa Estate. If you were to visit those two clinics, you realize that our situation there is very appalling, and there's a need that we step out in terms of helping to improve those health facilities. So we intend to provide, an ambulance. And before 2023, we will be providing an ambulance and to the district to be used by our sick people, especially the people with critical condition. And the ambulance will provide job opportunities for about 10 persons because we have people working on first and second shift. People will be assigned to the ambulance, making sure the relevant fresh air provided to our people, who will be affected by a lot of diseases before they be taken to the hospital for proper treatment. So we also intend to provide some, certain medical items, in terms of hospital bed and trust, to those clinics in the district, making sure that we improve the services there, so that the fees can be lower, so that our people cannot pay much. At least the little can be paid as a means of maintaining the facilities of the clinic. So those are issues we're working on. Well, we also try to provide a legislation and a bill to the 54th National Legislature that seek to establish an additional public high school to complement the special project high school. As you're aware, the special project high school was established, about them the population size was not huge as it is today. The population size gonna be has grown, has grew significantly. So there's a need to construct an additional public high school. So we seek to profile a bill. We're going to work with our full national legislature, and we're also going to work with the businesses operating in our district. The issue of the static boiler and most of the factories in our district will call them to a roundtable discussion with the representation of the DDC and all of the major stakeholders in the district, asking them to support our project that seek to extend the special project high school so that our students have access to quality education in the district. So we also seek to provide another bill that seek to compare every medical practitioner, most especially surgeon, to be covered by insurance policy that has been doing in other countries. For example, if a medical doctor is being covered by insurance policy and then he administers a surgery on a patient, and then he made mistake due to medical or negligence, that medical insurance will assume responsibility of the mistake about that medical doctor to compensate that victim or the family of the victim, as a result of the mistake in administering the surgery. So if that is being done in our country, then we will have medical practitioners will be more serious, more careful with the profession, making sure that they perform their responsibility, very importantly, so that they cannot make mistake, because any mistake will be compensated by the insurance provider.
You talk about accountability, transparency, and so on. I think these are the same rhetorics being made by some politicians to ascend to higher positions, particularly at the House of Representatives. what are some track records that people can be convinced that based on this level, maybe based on activism and so on, we can entrust Mr. Yogba with this position to go in the House of Representatives?
Thank you.
What have been his track record when it comes to advocacy?
Thank you. The first thing what Yobo is going to do as part of our manifesto before the 2023 representative elections is going to declare his ASEA first as an aspirant in the process.
It's something that is required.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He's not going to go to design, also going to publicize. Every community will have access, every resident will have access to his access before coming into government, because he's an established person. He's somebody that can afford, he runs the zero cars, so that people cannot have the perception that because he gets into government, so he's trying government form, so he's going to declare his assets. All of the businesses in America, including the Yoruba group of company in Liberia and the foundation, the assets are going to declare, it's going to be publicized, and so that our people can have an appreciation of what he has, before coming into government. The next thing we're going to ensure that will provide, a regular legislative report to constituents of our district at the end of every legislative sitting. Our people will have a record of initiative undertaken by Moyobo, bills submitted and sponsored by him. And he also going to ensure that before the national budget can be voted upon by office, we're going to consult our people, we're going to come to them to say, oh, there's a national budget, there is why in the budget, and he's going to consult the people before casting a vote.
For instance, these are promises people been making to go to power. What being his track record when it comes to advocacies on national issue? What being this young man? What being his track record? We're not discussing how affluent he is. And
Thank you.
How he's going to do this.
What has a track record for advocating for the people of District number 12 over the years.
Not yet District number 12 on a national issue.
And Liberian government, as you may be aware, he previously served as president for the Philadelphia Gentlemen Club, one of the renowned, organization in United States of America, precisely in the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia state, where he advocated for medical, books for the Dougherty, school in Liberia, and he was able to donate medical book value over $25,000 to government of Liberia during the administration of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He did not stop there, and he also, built, a library, mini library in the Shufajo community that provide, resource material for our students within district number 12. And he has also been advocating for, budgetary, or increment to the educational and all of the health sector, because he from the health sector, educational sector, he has a health, organization in America called the Comfort for Health, Services, where he caters to people with medical, instability and that of intellectual, instability as well. He also is a classroom teacher. He lectured at the M.E. Zion University. He lectured at the Star College of Technology as well. He has 2 master's degrees in computer information and computer science from 2 renowned universities in America. That is the Holy Family University and that of the Pennsylvania University, where he and Amar Pone, the leg of Dr. Musoka Fala, were all classmates. In fact, they graduated the senior at the Pennsylvania University. So he has passion, and his wife is a medical doctor by profession. She currently doing a PhD in administrative policy. So it tells you that he has passion for the health and educational sector. So under his administration, we are going to place key emphasis on education and healthcare delivery across the district.
Now there are a couple of issues. If one is seeking, to be a representative of the people, there are a couple of issues involved. Specifically, the issue of in the area of lawmaking, in the area of oversight, these are areas where there are normally hula balloons and some shortcomings as well. So now your candidate is poised, to contest as a representative in that district. exactly in the area of oversight. There have been a couple of issues with electricity, water, the issue of these narrow bridges and all the kinds of things. What is your candidate contemplating about specifically the area of oversight in reaching out to the people, making sure that those places that they are lacking behind, you can be able to elevate them just on the contrary of lawmaking and representation.
Thank you. As I have said earlier, on the representation of Judge of Honorable, Jerry Yoba, representative of District number 12, come 2023, we are going to ensure that we convene a meeting with all of the businesses operating in our district to review the concession agreement to our community, making sure that those agreements have been followed to the letter for the benefit of our community. We are going to prevail on the Ministry of Public Works to make sure that all of our feeder roads have been, rehabilitated every, year, thereby making sure that our people have access, to the nearby communities. The issue of, road is a serious challenge. We are going to work on that. We can show you that the Ministry of Public Works will have to answer to our office, making sure that our feeder roads have been rehabilitated. That is the 17 community in the district. We are also going to ensure that the budget of the Ministry of Health and Education are being reviewed thoroughly, making sure that there will be an increment every budgetary year in the educational and the health budget, so as to be able to Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education, to improve educational and health services across the country. If that happens, District number 12 will be benefit. District number 12 will benefit as well. And the way to do it is to sit with the Ministry of Education, because we are going to be concerned deeply about Special Project High School to see how the Ministry of Education budget can be improved. For Special Project High School will also be considered, and in the Ministry of Education budget. So is the faculty in cleaning and the Ghana committee. Cleaning will also going to sit with the Ministry of Health. We are going to sit with the Committee on Women in front of our colleagues. We're going to convince them, and I can assure you that they are going to listen to our issues, and those issues will be addressed on our representation. We are going to continue follow up and making sure that the interests of our people are being protected, at all times on our representation. And more to that, we are also going to show that all of the major, communities that need bridge, we have access to bridge. We are going to lobby with government, and we are going to also use our salary. We're going to lobby with our partners abroad to support that initiative, because we want to connect every community within District number 12. It's something we are very passionate about doing, and we are going to achieve that on our representation.
Okay, so there are a couple of critical national issues, and I guess you've been following the discourse, you've been following the debate, and the issue of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code is something that Liberians are all keen, to know the position of some of those aspiring for those respective positions comes 2023. What's the stance of your boss on the issue of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code?
Well, by Honorable has made it very clear on every platform he appeared, and that he supports the establishment of the World Economic Crime Code because he believes in accountability and transparency. He's going to believe that people must account for the actions during the 14 years of civil trials in our country, and the only way we can have a sustained peace, according to him, is when people are made to account for the actions against our country and against peaceful citizens across the country. So he's going to support the World Economic Crime Code in Liberia. He said he's going to champion that cause in the national legislature, making sure that Liberia, will see the need to establish those two codes for the issue of accountability and transparency, so that it can serve as a deterrent to future generations, that there are responsible means through which we can channel our grievances if there are any in the future, other than reverting into chaotic situations that will degenerate and devolve the progress our country has made over the years. So he support the World Code, Economic Code strongly, as a citizen and resident of District number 12.
So, folks, you following the program, of course, this is the Brush Morning Talk here on Brush FM 94.7 megahertz, MTV, as well as Brush TV Live. And of course, you're following our guest this morning here on the BMT. Been talking about a couple of issues centering around the representative bit of his boss in electoral district number 12. And this morning, you're hearing there are a couple of issues he lay out. There are key things he talked about. And he has spoken about their manifesto, their plans, their thoughts about electoral district number 12 comes 2023. So those of you following the presentation this morning and wanting to form part of the conversation, you can call us on 0776360979. Again, 0776360979. 0776360979 is the call line this morning. And you can call us and form part of the Brush Morning Talk. A couple of issues you have highlighted specifically in electoral district number 12. And this morning there are many callers that we can start to talk to. But let's begin with this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the name and where have you called from?
Thank you very much. My name is Simeon Sojourner, and I call you from District Number 9. And let me say thank you to the very dear Ramsey Swift. I listened to him intensively and he responded well, and he talked about a man, being somebody who established in our businesses abroad and in Liberia. And I want to ask this question. The guy talking about he established well, have businesses both abroad and in Liberia, and for money in Liberia. And then I said that he still, and for it would be the situation, why can't he still in the private sector and then he still wanted to be the representative? Of course.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question, and our guest will definitely respond to it. Keep listening. Yeah, keep listening. Our guest will definitely respond to that. 0776360979. We'll have this person joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. What's the name and where you call from?
I'm just saying, Master Takindo, and I call you from the MPS community.
Go ahead, Chief Guest. You following the presentation. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm head of scholarship for the Jerry Yabo Foundation. Let me attend the evolutionary greetings to Congruency in Steel, and he spoke soundly. But I just want to further elaborate on the scholarship issue. He said the Honorable launched the scholarship draft worth 3 million Liberian dollars. And the scholarship is meant to be situated in the district community within our district. And the scholarship is going to be categorized into 2 sections. We're going to have the merit base and that of the need base. And the merit base actually is a scholarship that is going to be given to students within our district that will have the average of 85 and above. And that of the need base is a kind of scholarship that is going to be given to children and youth within our district who are sort of privileged, who their parents do not have the money to further their education. And each of these categories of the scholarship is going to be 100%. That is, we're going to pay the 100% tuition. Not only that, we're going to say that there are some other schools that have other requirements, like PE t-shirts, books and other materials. We're going to make sure that we also pay for those materials as well. So for merit-based scholarship, maybe the only thing that the parents will need to do is to provide school uniform. But for the financial base, depending on the needs of those parents, we're also going to provide uniform, for those of our beneficiaries. Today, I'm invited to speak on one of your sister stations, specifically Scroll FM, and I'm going to further elaborate the issue of the scholarship to the constituents of this paper. So I want to say kudos to the company seriously for sounding, and let's continue to do work. And I believe strongly with the kind of initiative that has been carried out in the distinct communities by Jerry Yoko. I believe strongly that the marches are doing a good work, and they are going to voting come 2023. Thank you very much.
0776360979, 0776360979 is a call on this morning. We can take about 2 calls to return to our guest. And we have one of the 2 luckiest callers this morning. Good morning. What's the name and where you call from? Yeah, go ahead, Thomas. Let's hear you. Okay, Chief. Thank you. Thank you very much. 0776360979, 0776. We can take just a call and return to our guest this morning here on the first segment of the Brush Morning Talk. 0776360979, 0776360979, again 0776360979 is the call line this morning. But Rense, you listen to the callers. The first person was so concerned. According to you, your boss have businesses abroad. Why is it that he cannot remain in the private sector, to continue to make the impact he has been making over the time, instead of contemplating on vying for an elected position?
Thank you. There will always be the need for a patriotic citizens wanting to service our country. Amidst opportunity he has provided in the private sector, but he strongly believes that he can do more. Having the political leverage to impact more lives, because lives will be changed at the level of policy making. So he believes that if he is at the level to make policy, he can contribute more on the general than what he's contributing to society. And that's why he's going there for the people that want to show that good policies are crafted and the little good laws are made to benefit the general good of the country, not just a particular community or a few group of people that he has been impacting positively over the years through his companies in America and out of Liberia. Somebody called from Maryland Center. Maryland Center, as I said, we're currently constructing a bridge linking Maryland Center by the community, and we also provided financial assistance for Maryland Center to get rid of the trash. They've been having this stockpile of trash for over a year now, where we spent over $1,590 for one of the renowned sanitation companies in Liberia. Today that community is free. That community is moving freely in terms of a good environment through our intervention. So somebody called, and then they spoke about the extension of our lawmaker, right? I'm going to show you that our lawmaker is reaching out to all the community. It's the first African nation of our district where an aspirant were able to conduct a successful district dialogue, district engagement with all of the communities, something that has only been done by the president of our country. Is a president that usually conduct what you call a county talk to make the people understand the needs and how the government can intervene. Honorable Joey K. Yobo, as an aspirant, as a representative, he was able to meet with the scientific committee leadership. He met with High Court or various groupings, women grouping, youth grouping. You were able to listen to the plight, listen to the needs, and you were able to immediately respond to some of the needs that you could not respond to immediately.
Yeah, but at the moment he wants power, though.
No, not that he wants power, but it's something he has been doing, since 2012. But the reason why it has become a popular discussion is because he has announced his interest to contest. So people try to politicize something he has been doing for so many years. As we speak to you now, we will be doing the bridge on the Kennedy Boulevard, Lake Black A and Black C community, a value over $17,000. We'll also be doing the Kaduma Bridge, linking Kaduma and Chiso Pajo community. Our engineer is currently doing the assessment after we will be about, and I can show you that bridge will be constructed before 2023, hopefully by December or early January. The construction work will also start. We'll also be dedicating the Maryland Center Bridge that is at 95% completion, hopefully by December, when our CEO shall arrive in the country, and he will do the dedication of that bridge so that our people, can have, free access. And that bridge going to ensure that our students, you know, our of parents who are working will be committed to the various place of work, various to the school. You also have to build the economy of that community or in terms of making business more effective, as well in that part of the district. Not only that, we also want to provide this clarity because our lawmaker who has desperately performed over the past years as a representative of the district, who has neglected the district, currently living in number 13, who has refused to provide legislative report, who have refused to provide our 20,000 he received from China Union Asset Development Fund, who have refused to provide our 10,000 received account development fund, who recently received 30,000 for national budget from the government of Bureau, our constituent say engagement, something that he's never performed. He has never been to our community, over the past 2 years. He received funding. Those funding have been squandered. He has been on the media, propagating lies that he has been the one that provided medical assistance for one Comfort Robertson, a resident of Swagger Island, who is currently at the JFK Memorial Hospital, seeking medication, for medical problems she has been, suffering from over a year now. According to my information, she approached the Honorable Office for over many months. He did not respond until 2 weeks ago when I met her. She explained a situation to me. I was able to call my boss in America. Immediately, he sent the $50 USD for treatment to commence, and we're able to pay those money into the account of the JFK hospital through the final session. The lady now is being is currently at the JFK hospital on third floor on the medical ward, undergoing medication to the assistance of Honorable Jerry Kiyabo. Honorable Judge B.N. Sama is on the social media providing false claim that he is the one that took the lady there. He is the one paying medical assistance. So I just came to provide the receipts that, for the benefit of the public, probably to show it to the people so they can know that we have been the one have been paying the medical bill. In fact, I was the one who took her to JFK Hospital on Thursday, and she was admitted on Friday. Up to now, she stayed there, and she is responding to treatment. And we hope that the structure can be successfully done as planned for this week. And we have a promise to assume all liability, including her rent, and because she is indebted to our landlady, and she is at the verge of being put out. So we have signed a commitment with the landlady that we are going to pay for a 1 year rent, apart from the medication assistance, the medical assistance we're providing for her, and so far over $50,000, and that money could increase to $1,000 or $2,005 based on the fee that will be charged for the surgery. So we just thought to provide this clarity that when someone you start claiming, glory of other people, if I wanted to help the lady, you should help the lady. And, since months ago, when the lady approached me, but because he realized that Jericho Yobo, name has taken over the entire, district as COVID-19, so he has become concerned now, and he wants to mislead the public as he has started already. And so, as we issued in our statement on yesterday, that will not take this situation lightly, any attempt for the honorable representative to come to the public again and provide misleading information, surrounding the medication of Comfort Robertson. We are going to take a legal action against him because it is criminal in nature. Why the truth, we know that it's criminal. He has stolen our district money, but we will not sit down and allow him, or to acclaim unto him what does not, belong unto him. Because Honorable Yoba is a humanitarian. He has been doing this for years. He will continue to do that because he believes in his people, and that's why he has come, to serve everyone. He's somebody that's very accessible. Honorable Yoba was here. There was no protocol. He interacted with everybody. In fact, he's the only aspirant in the district that you can reach out to anytime without passing through Ramsey Sime or submitting against cell or that scholarship will cover the entire community, but still to be given based on the population size of the community. So Chinsu Pato will have most love compared to Senator Estate because of the population size. And so we also have the most successful district tournament where all of the Senator community participated. Previously, few community will participate on the majority of us know, or in order to welcome, we spoke about reconciliation in our platform, to have our people reconcile. Everybody should get involved to feel the impact. So we had our recent district tournament where person was given 35,000 was given to the winner, 35,000 to the runner-up. The female team received 35,000, winner-up 15,000. The player received boost. We gave the best goalkeeper, hand glove, a new hand glove. We also provided other items to the communities. We provided 17 jerseys to the community, and those are needed. We are going to ensure that it happen every year to keep our community united. Something our lawmakers are failed to do, and so we remain very committed. We are also going to ensure that beginning next year we are going to have the academic competition where all of the schools in the district will participate, and a hands-on reward will be given as we have done with what you call the recent district tournament that were organized on Majority Yabo.
Okay.
So we also going to ensure that beginning October, we are going to begin the rehabilitation of the community roads in our district, the 17 communities, and making sure that our people have, an accessible, road to be able to commune to schools and to the office and other places, as we approach the dry season. So we want to say thank you for the opportunity provided us. We look forward to many conversation on your platform because it is one of the best so far in our district. This platform is one of the credible platform. When I come here, somebody say, "Oh, man, I was this station there. That may contesting. The many will not allow you." But I think you have defeated that perception. You have demonstrated that this platform have an independent view. It's very balanced, it's accurate, and meets the ambition of your CEO when you're going to provide a platform to every aspirant to come, and talk to the people. I want to say thank you. We hope that you continue on that path, maintain the stability, maintain the independence of the platform, because it's one of the best so far in our country, in our district work.
Renzo, been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so folks, you listen to him, and this morning you have heard him talking about lots of critical issues in the electoral district number 12. And you hear him this morning, they've been pushing the agenda of this candidate, Yobo, and you have heard lots more this morning. And so that's it. We're going about 6 minutes away, 9 o'clock here on the presentation. Next, going to be our discussion point up to 10 o'clock. But just before we move any further, we have to go for this quick break here from So Fresh this morning. Remember, you're still listening to the BMT, that's the Brush Morning Talk here on Brush FM 94.7 megahertz, as well as MTV and Brush TV, respectively. Let's take a break. As we come back, we discuss those issues. Like I told you on yesterday, the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Dr. George Bannett Weah, he convened an urgent meeting, an urgent cabinet meeting, wherein they talk about some of those, disasters that happened of recent, like the gas tanker belonging to Aminata and Son, that slipped off the road around the Water Street area and led to the burning down of several public facilities, as well as the one that occurred in Magibi as well. The only government referral hospital, the CH Rating, got affected. Several components of that hospital got burned as a result of electrical shock, because that is what the National Fire Service has established thus far. So the president, the president of the cabinet reached few decision, and we're going to talk about those issues this morning up to 10 o'clock here on the presentation. But let's pick up this one from right here, Liberia, but So Fresh, and of course, this is Pins.
You call the station small. They will pray. Move ahead, you come on again. You die in what can we happen on it? You want to the camera, you die in You know, I'll pray. Many of the social people will come in, so I will invite you before the feast.
And of course, it's right here from Liberia. That's the voice of the duo So Fresh, and that's JB and Shani. Man, you hear them there. It is called Pins this morning. So we're taking a bit of it as we come back. We look thoroughly into the urgent cabinet meeting that was held yesterday by the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Dr. George Weah. But let's go for a break. As we come back, of course, we have some interactions this morning here on the presentation.
All I think I could do a prayer.